Feeding the birds can be an artistic undertaking these days.
A creative West Michigan conservationist has turned woodworker to create some amazing structures. Okay, by this point in the year, we think most of our feathered friends have probably flown south for the winter. Well, the smart ones anyway. But those that are still up here, probably looking for really cozy places to live, right? You got to have some shelter. Well, this is John Gurten.
Good morning, Terry.
Good morning. You are here at the Fountain Street Church Art Gallery, where you have a display devoted to the birds.
Yes.
But uniquely devoted because you have these wonderful birdhouses.
Well, I'm very glad you appreciate them. Thank you.
And you have created each one of these.
Yes, they're my design and execution. A lot of them are based on traditional patterns, Victorian sources, musical themes. I'm just in love with Grand Rapids and its history of architecture, and I've tried to celebrate a little of that in these pieces.
Now, it's all about conservation because the wood actually comes from one of our former landmarks in the Grand Rapids area.
Yes, it does. Most of these boxes are built from an old barn that used to stand a very significant landmark at the corner of Patterson Avenue and 28th Street. It was called the Patterson Farm, and it blew down, I believe it was, in about 2003, and I was able to salvage all that exterior lumber. It has a lot of history attached. Gerald Ford had a big presence on that farm, and all these pieces are made from that magnificent lumber, yes.
So it's really that historic, solid wood that you use to create these.
Oh, yes. This is true dimension lumber, and it has the... when you take a look at it, you can feel the touch of the Almighty's hand in all of this. The figure is just so dramatic, and which says something about permanence, doesn't it?
And you grew up on a farm, so this probably, as you were cutting the wood, brought back some memories.
Oh, yes, yes. I spent a lot of time in eastern Ontario, my uncle's farm. He was a forester, and working with this material, it's quite alive. When you cut it on the saw, you can actually smell the livestock coming right out. The horses, the cows, their presence is right in the wood. I kid you not.
And so you have all these different creations here, different themes, really. I love the musical theme. Tell me the backstory on that.
Sure. The musical theme, well, I was excited about the musical nature of birds, of course. That's one thing, the first thing that gets your attention in the morning when you wake up. They just love to sing Mozart. I'm not sure exactly what the source is, but this one, of course, uses a violin peg. You can see the figure of the violin in the gable. The F holes celebrate the Baroque notion of acoustics, and you see that in a lot of symphonic instruments.
And you used a special form of almost branding, a branding iron for this.
Yes, it's a kind of a 19th century technique. You take a hot iron. I use Victorian ironwork, which I've salvaged, heated up to, I don't know, approximately 800 degrees in a forge, and then press that into the lumber. So that's how I make all those fantastic, truthful designs.
And
yes.
You have bat houses, too. Bats are really important.
Yes, and it's wonderful that you point that out. Bats are pretty misunderstood in our community here. They're subject to a lot of bad press. I don't know why. I think maybe Dracula had something to do with that.
You're right.
But in fact, bats really do help control disease by clearing out insects in our environment. They eat a phenomenal amount of insects daily, and they need a little help because of habitat loss. So a bat house is the perfect way to invite those little chaps over before your cocktail party in the summer.
That sounds like a great idea. So this is an amazing display, from the wildlife photography to the actual birdhouses themselves, at the Fountain Street Church Art Gallery, open through early 2010. Come by and see how you can find a place of shelter for some of our feathered friends this time of the year.
Terry, that brings up such nice memories. My grandparents would have birdhouses, and they're just, you don't always see them. They're wonderful, though.
And these are wonderful, and they're actually, not only are they on display, because they really are like pieces of art, you can also purchase those. So you can head down to Fountain Street Church, the art gallery there, 24 Fountain Street Northeast in downtown Grand Rapids. There's no admission charge. They're open Monday through Friday, and then also on Sundays. And if you're interested in maybe getting in touch with the woodworker himself, talented guy, you can reach him at www.victorianrevivalbird birdhouses.com. We'll have that information also on our website. And this was an interesting side story while we were there. The beautiful pictures are taken by a local wildlife artist. This is Barb Mohawk. She's just a talented local wildlife photographer. She recently had some of her work displayed at Art Prize, and she gathered all of these great photographs together to kind of help set the stage there. Barb's pictures, the soft bird call, music in the background. It really is a beautiful display.
Yeah, a good partnership with the birdhouses and then the pictures of the birds, because if you want to have the birds and not have them fly away, you can grit the picture of the birds and hang it in your house and be able to gaze at birds all day long.
It was fun. I have to tell you that very few stories do I go to, and I'm just so surprised at how amazing it is. And this was one of those that I thought, wow, this is just so cool. You really have to try it. And it's free. We love the free things.
We do. We love the free things. So many things like that.